Dear grade 6 students, hi, I'm teacher Frank. Welcome back to another video, and today together we will have Unit 3. Let's go to Japan, shall we? You have your passport? Follow me. Let's go to Japan, shall we? Have you ever visited another country? Talk about it. I know some of you have been to another countries like maybe Japan, China, Korea, or any other country. We will talk about it when we come back to school. Right now, let's listen and read together.
Unit 3. Exercise B1. Listen and read.
Let's go to Japan, shall we? It was the first lesson on a Monday morning. The students were chatting noisily about their weekend. Mr. Andrews clapped his hands.
Okay, everybody, let's get to work, shall we? I want to make an announcement. Do you all remember the robot design competition that we entered? Well, we've got through to the final and we've been invited to Tokyo in Japan to compete.
The students all cheered and called out.
That's going to be brilliant! We'd love to visit Japan!
Well, it would appear that you're all very excited, aren't you? So, this calls for a lesson about Japan. What do you know about it?
Asked Mr. Andrews. The students' hands shot up.
I love their manga comics and cartoons. They're brilliant, aren't they?
Grinned Pete.
Tokyo has ancient shrines and modern skyscrapers. It's traditional and cosmopolitan, all at the same time, isn't it?
Answered Paula.
It has Disneyland too, hasn't it?
Joined in Charlie.
Okay, good.
Interrupted Mr. Andrews.
You're not going to be just tourists, though, are you? You'll be in the competition with lots of other students, won't you? What do you think might be useful to know about?
Their food.
Laughed Derek.
I like the noodles and sushi. In Japan, you have to make a lot of noise eating ramen noodles. It makes them sound and taste delicious. It can be a bit tricky eating with chopsticks, though.
I heard that it's insulting to leave a tip whatever the situation.
Added Pete.
Not so many people speak English, do they? It would help to learn to speak a little Japanese.
Commented Sandy.
It would be useful to know how to be polite there, wouldn't it? I know that they bow to each other when they meet.
Added Paula.
Yes, it would. The Japanese people are very polite and helpful. They obey the rules when they drive or travel on trains.
Said Mr. Andrews.
The Japanese people don't like to stand out because their society is focused on the group, whereas Western cultures focus on the individual. Well done. Great job, everyone.
Said Mr. Andrews.
Our goal now is to concentrate on building a robot that's going to win the competition. I think all that's left to say today is Arigato gozaimasu.
1. Fill in the correct names from the text. Who made the announcement about the invitation to Japan? Very easy, Mr. Andrew. Let's write together, Mr. Andrew. Right, number 2. Who loves manga comics and cartoons? If you don't know, go back and read. You will find Pete. Yes, it's Pete. Number 3. Who said that Disneyland is in Japan? Did you find it? It's Charlie. Yes, right, Charlie. Number 4. Who suggested learning a little Japanese? Right, it's Sandy. Right, Sandy. The last one. Who commented about eating with chopsticks? It's Derek. Right, very easy. Let's move to number 2. Put in words that match with the given topics. We have some words. Let's read it together first. Cartoons, Tokyo, Disneyland, shrines, skyscrapers, sushi, ramen, manga. Now the topics are Japanese food, Japanese books, Japanese buildings, and Japanese places. So, number 1, Japanese food. Which of these words are Japanese food? Cartoon, Tokyo, Disneyland, shrines, skyscraper, sushi, yes, and ramen, yes. Let's write this down. Sushi and ramen. Number 2, Japanese books. Cartoons, yes. And what else? Tokyo? No. Disneyland, shrines, skyscraper, sushi, ramen, manga. Manga is Japanese books, so we write manga. Buildings, shrine, which is old temples, and skyscrapers. Let's write that down. Japanese places, very easy. The 2 words left, Tokyo and, yes, Disneyland. Okay. Vocabulary. City buildings. An office block is a large building with many floors that contains offices. A skyscraper is a very tall building. A shrine is a religious building, usually connected to a person or event. A prison is a building where people are put as a punishment. A factory is a large building where things are made. Let's answer question number 1. Write the correct word from the learning box. 1. It produces cars and employs thousands of people. Employs a lot of people and they make cars, produce cars. That means it's a factory. Let's write down a factory. Number 2. One of the tallest buildings in the world is the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. Tallest buildings, it's a very tall building, so it's very good, a skyscraper. Number 3. The bank robbers were sentenced to 15 years there. Somebody did something wrong, they punished to be in prison. Yes, they go to prison. Number 4. I work there for a design company on the 3rd floor. Looks like working office. That means mini office. That means an office block. Okay. Last one, number 5. It's usually houses, the holy objects for worship. Yes, it's the shrine. Write it down. We finish with this one. Let's move to number 2. In this section, we are going to learn about phrasal verbs. There are some verbs, when they are attached to another word, they give different meaning. Let's see. Call back. To phone back or ask someone to return. Call for. To require, need, or demand. Call off. To cancel or postpone. Call on. To visit for a short time. Call out. To speak loudly or shout. Call up. To phone or remember. You see, a phrasal verb, today we have the word call, but when we put it with another word like back, for, off, on, okay, they give different meanings. You should remember these meanings and write them in your notebook, okay? Match this sentence with the correct picture. A. Bobby is calling out Paula. If you look at the pictures, yes, it's number 2. Bobby is there and calling Paula. He's calling out Paula. So let's write on picture number 2, A. Okay. B. Kevin is calling on his parents. Okay. Which one? Yes, it's picture number 5. Kevin is calling on his parents. Let's write B. Number C. Sandy is calling up her friend. So, which one is Sandy calling up her friend? Yes, very easy. It's number 4. Write C. You find the phone in Sandy's hand. D. Your mom's outside calling for you. So, you see picture number 1. Apparently, the teacher is talking to a student, telling her your mom is outside calling for you. Picture number 1, let's write D. E. The school teacher has just called off the meeting. Cancel the meeting, so it's picture number 3 written, no meeting today. So let's write here E. Very easy. Grammar. Our grammar today is about question tags. Let's read together. Question tags are at the end of a statement and are often used in English to keep a conversation going. They are very common in English and they don't always need to be answered. They mean something similar to, am I right? Or, do you agree? Positive statements always take negative tags, and negative statements always take a positive tag. Let's take example. He has 2 brothers, hasn't he? And the answer is, yes, he has, or no, he hasn't. Negative statement, you don't go to school near here, do you? And the answer is, yes, I do, or no, I don't. As you see, in the positive statement, we use the verb has, so the tag is hasn't. And in the negative statement, we use the verb don't, so the positive tag is do. If we use the verb can, the tag will be can't. If we use the verb is, the tag will be isn't. If we use the verb aren't, the tag will be are. Okay? Match the question tags with the sentence. Number 1, you don't understand me. The verb here is don't. So we will look for the tag do, right? Which one is do? Yes, number C, do you? So let's write number C here. Okay? Number 2, she loves chicken and rice. The verb here is loves. So we need to find the helping verb and the opposite. So the helping verb will be does, and the opposite is doesn't. So the answer is, doesn't she? Number A. Number 3, they have learned that already. So the verb here is have. We will look for the tag haven't. It's number D, haven't they? Last one, Derek didn't expect that. Didn't. So we will look for the tag did. Very good. Let's write number B. In this part, in pairs, ask and answer the question tag. Mr. Ronald is a vet, isn't he? Yes, he is. Number 1, Martha is going shopping. So, Martha is going shopping, isn't she? And the answer, No, she isn't. Number 2. Pete could reach the shelf. Couldn't he? The answer is yes, he could. Joe doesn't have a clue, does he? And the answer would be no, he doesn't. We will practice more of this when you come back to school. Alright, the last part, question tag with let's. We use shall we after the question tag that starts with let's. Example, let's go for a walk, shall we? Okay, let's answer these questions together. It will be very easy. Fill in the blanks with let's or shall we. Number 1, let's have lunch. Shall we? Let's write shall we. Number 2, watch this film. Shall we? So the answer is let's watch this film. Shall we? Number 3, let's sing along. Shall we? Yes. And number 4, let's. I told you it would be very easy, right? Okay. I hope you enjoyed your trip to Japan. Welcome back to Thailand and see you again in next video. See ya.